Welcome to the Wrestle for Real podcast, the Wrestle for Real crew. You know how we do it each and every Monday night, discussing Monday Night Raw. In this case, Monday Morning Raw at our earlier start time. Got Stan with me today, so we gonna run through this, see if get the thoughts on this one, see how you feel about this show here. And looks like the guys and gals are still in Perth for the last night, hence throwing off everybody's start time. But that's cool. That's cool. We figured it out. We figured it out. So we here now. We here now. We here now. So the show kicked off with the Vision coming out. Seth Rollins basically excited about his win at Crown Jewel, winning the Crown Jewel championship. What, Daddy? Winning, getting the ring and things of that nature. So kicked it off with the main crew today. Really just kind of reasserting their dominance, his dominance as a champion. And the entire team, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman out there with him. So that's what these guys is doing on tonight. Not anything really of substance going on too much here. But the crowd was hot for it, man. They seemed to at one point be against Seth Rollins, and then they was for Seth Rollins, and then they was against Seth Rollins. So not really sure what was going on here, man. But what you thought about how they opened the show?
It was a very interesting promo. He kind of mentioned that he didn't need the Vision, and
Mhm.
we see Braun Breaker giving him that look. That that look especially when he rose that title up high. So it's interesting to see they're starting planting little seeds. See how everything plays out.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing there on their part. But no opening brawls or anything like that. We didn't get any action till our first match, which was Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. I believe it was for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, was this match made last week or did we?
yeah.
I don't remember.
Adam Pearce had made it.
Okay. So Dominic and Penta. I don't know how much longer they're gonna be able to ignore the reaction Dominic is getting. It was a very, very noticeable cheers for him and
Oh,
all
yeah.
the moves he were doing. It almost turned Penta heel.
Even when he was cheating, he got cheered, bro.
Yeah. Yep. He was almost cheered on the Three Amigos, and when Penta did it instead, it didn't go over quite as well. So I was like, okay, all right. These guys won. Man, it's making Penta look you. It's at a point where do they keep putting in strong baby faces with Dominic because Penta almost got booed. I might say he kind of got booed a little bit. When he reversed the Three Amigos, they was waiting for Dominic to do it. They didn't really like him doing it as much, man. So I was like, wow, do you really want to step on someone like him at this particular time? Him being Penta, being in the ring with Dominic, man, it just seems like the crowd was really, really hot for all the moves he was doing. Anytime he'd get the edge in the match, overall, it was a good match. Dominic was pulling out some of the dirty stunts that he normally pulls out, which eventually led to him being victorious and retaining his Intercontinental Championship. But I found that the story for me more so was the way the crowd reacted to Dominic. And because of that, the way they and then reacted to Penta. Not normally the exciting cheers we normally get when they see Penta outside of maybe his entrance. But anything that he was getting the upper hand on or any reversals, it seems like they definitely wanted Dominic to stay ahead in this match. What you thought about this one, man? First match of the night, Dominic Mysterio versus Penta.
That was a great match, man. They got a lot of good chemistry together. The moves Dominic was doing, the suicide dive into a DDT was amazing. And then a lot, his little dirty tactics was great. It was a great match. I think they're gonna go again for the AAA championship, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, those two together, they just work well. I think that's why. Cause I think Penta has faced Dominic more than any other wrestler that he's faced.
Mm-hmm.
It's only been like 4 or 5 times, but I mean, Penta only been in WWE for like few months. I don't think it's been like 7 months yet. So might have been
Well,
seven,
he
8 months.
debuted. I wasn't it the Raw on Netflix in January?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Okay. Yeah. So he been in for 10 months,
Yeah.
and he's faced Dominic at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So, but they every time it's a great match. I don't think they've had a bad match together. Even down in AAA when they were doing the matches down there,
Mm-hmm.
they're great together. So
Yeah, they have solid styles that match each other well enough to go out there and perform. But what you think of Dominic? You know, how much longer is he gonna stay Judgment Day heel at this point? I mean, do they have to pull
I
the
don't
trigger
know.
sooner than later, or
I feel like the perfect thing would be to, but I guess it depends. Like if Rusev and Dominic is like closer to the main event,
Mm,
you could like if Judgment Day loses the tag team titles, Fan could blame Dominic for even making the match. Fan could cost Dominic the match against Rusev, and then bam, there you go. Wins the title. He's a heel. Dominic is clearly a face in this situation, and so it's. But you know, I don't know. I don't know what else they can do. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head.
yeah, but how soon? Because we really didn't have a timetable on if they just let it play out. But now that he's getting so much love right
Yeah,
now, I mean, do we
because
really
that.
wait?
Yeah, true. Because that match is next week, so all those matches are next week. So I don't know if they want to do it then. I feel like maybe they wait for like a pay per view, well, a PLE. So I don't know if he has a maybe like Survivor Series or something like that.
I mean, he could man. I mean, I don't know. There's so many avenues to where he could say I'm done with you guys. You know, for all we know, he throws everybody throws Finn out of the Royal Rumble and he ends up winning. You know, or something like that on his way to main eventing, of course, night one of WrestleMania or something like that. So he's got that way to go. He can turn on them, or they could turn on him at a Survivor Series if they do end up in a match together.
Yeah, I feel like they got to do it. I feel like they got to turn on him.
Yeah, so that could be, man. He's got a lot waiting for him on the other side, even on Monday Night Raw. We haven't even discussed, what that would look like with him against anybody from the SmackDown roster. Or him having a tour of TNA, a tour of NXT. Obviously, he's going to be doing some more work in AAA, so he has that option as well. But he can run the gauntlet, man. He's fresh enough to where he hasn't been anywhere but the WWE, and in this case, he almost hasn't been anywhere as of late other than Raw. So there's a lot of opportunity waiting for him, and he's already kind of rising up. Despite not defending the title too much, going over there and getting the AAA mega title and still holding on to the Intercontinental. He has a lot of room, despite where he's at right now. So it's going to get more interesting to see if they just keep using him, keep asserting him. I think that we definitely may be on to something. They may be on to something when we see what the end result is going to look like on this one. The next match we had, we had some Kyrie Sane and Oscar backstage stuff. A lot of yelling and grunting and just nonsense that I just couldn't wait for it to be over. Ended with a smack. Again, are these smacks baby facing Kyrie Sane at this point?
Well, it's two things. Like that whole like she looks at Oscar as her mom and she doesn't want to disappoint her. You know, the older sister, she doesn't want to disappoint her kind of thing. And so it's kind of making the crowd think that since Oscar is like strong holding her and abusing her, that she's forced to do this because she doesn't want to disappoint her. So, eventually when she turns on Oscar, she'll be a face. But it's just like, but it's getting us to like invest more in her. So when she like breaks away from Oscar, everyone will be behind her kind of thing. In
Mhm.
my opinion, that's what I feel like it's on.
Yeah, she's definitely. I mean, that has to happen at this point. I would assume there's no way that she can remain with Oscar for too much longer. If they find a way to drag this out, which they have a tendency to do sometimes, they I don't know how they can get that creative, but it seems like with these smacks that she may be on her way out, and I don't know what would that even mean for Kyrie Sane though. Like, is she just I'm just gonna go hang out with Rhea and Io now? Is she by herself? Like, what does that even mean for her? Do we want to see her with Io and Rhea? Like, what would be next?
I don't think she'll get released because one, they don't have a lot of women on the main roster, and she is talented.
Hmm.
But I feel like they're starting to do that little stuff for her to prepare for her solo run. Like she has her old theme music back when she was a Power Princess, and so it's like the little stuff they're preparing her to make some kind of like solo run. And it probably won't be a title solo run, but just like her being solo for a little bit by herself.
Yeah, that would be interesting, man, because they haven't done much with pushing a lot of the ladies in the solo sense on either brand too heavy. So for her to rise above, Asuka and whatever she's doing with Io, whatever Rhea is going to be doing or doing next, not to mention Stephanie Vaquer and whatever that may come from her, and Then there's the Becky Lynch stuff going on. It's going to be hard for her to navigate to be a relevant player on the card with what we've seen with the ladies so far. But this led to a match with Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley. Decent match. Asuka was out there along with Io Sky was out there. A little bit of involvement from Asuka. Rhea did end up getting the victory in this one, and it just basically led to a beatdown afterwards of Io and Rhea, and Kairi Sane kind of took the she took the smack literally and did her job in this one, man. She did what she was supposed to do, so she went crazy and got Rhea up out of there, man. So I don't know, man. This it may be dangerous to let Kairi Sane go on her own. I think she might get a little lost somewhere, but the angry version of her worked out well tonight. But what you thought about this match in the post fight beatdown?
No, the match in itself was good. And then the post was great too, because I mean Rhea won. You want to do that in her home country, but like Asuka and Kari stood tall, so like it's still like, hey, y'all might have won, but we still run this. We still not finished with y'all. So I don't know how they like go from here. I don't know if maybe
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like Asuka versus like Rhea Ripley, because I feel like the end game is Asuka versus like Io. That's the match that everybody wants. That's the match that people know will be like that strong style, the stiff shot. Because even when the tag match, when they went head up, like Asuka was hitting her, but they have that trust between each other that you can like hit me for real, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So just like Kari, like that one like oh Kari, move your head while I swing. That was like a slap. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So it's
Yeah. Well, we gonna they making us watch it every week. So noticeably absent today was Becky Lynch. Becky
yeah,
Lynch, we didn't see her
yeah.
tonight.
She's scared of Maxine, bro.
We didn't get no follow up from Maxine, man. I don't know what happened.
No, so this is how they doing us dirty. They did it during one of those commercial breaks.
Okay, okay.
Cause I saw it on X.
Did she have an
It was-
interview or what did she do?
yeah, it was an interview.
Okay.
So she'll be facing Becky for the title next week.
Hmm.
It's like 3 titles being defended next week. I know.
Okay, okay.
I feel like it's still gonna be a great match, but sometimes when I feel like we know who gonna win, they gonna throw a Mikey wrench in there. Cause like remember a couple years back, going into like WrestleMania season, we thought Rhea was gonna be Asuka and that was it. I mean, I'm sorry, we thought Rhea was gonna be Io or no,
Hmm.
like Io ended up winning the title. Nobody saw that coming,
Hmm.
and so because it was WrestleMania season, no one saw like Io winning a match for Rhea for the belt during WrestleMania season.
Hmm.
Well, Rhea lost, Io won. So I don't know. They've done it before when everybody expects something. They're like, yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah. I wish we could have got like a Maxine tournament style, like
Like
Becky
a little
keep throwing
gauntlet.
opponents at her and just like,
Yeah, that would have been better. And then for her to win at the end, and everybody is even more behind her.
yeah,
Or
like just
then, yeah. Oh
build
no,
her
I
up,
feel you on that.
you know, because I feel like whatever happens, it puts her in an odd place. Well, which she's not going to win. But even if it's a no DQ, a no finish, or she just loses, I don't know where you go with her. But there's a possibility they don't trust her with others. Becky is at the top of the top of the food chain. So there's a possibility they don't want her out there with Raquel. You definitely don't want her out there with Nia Jax getting hurt.
Yeah. Or maybe they have her lose and then like she goes to the back of the line, but she works her way back up.
Yeah.
So I mean they could just like what we saw with NXT with Trick and Mike Santana. Like
Hmm.
Mike Santana lost, but him and Trick was connected the whole time. And Mike Santana worked his way back up. So, it can happen.
It could. It could. Mike is a homegrown TNA guy, and he's
Uh
also worthy
yeah.
of being in
Oh,
the
I
main
know.
event.
But hey man, who
So,
knows, man? One day
but
we're gonna
they
get
got a chance to ride a very rare wave with Maxine right now.
Max ain't gonna retire Charlotte Flair, bro.
Man, she's
She next up.
she needs to retire Naya. She needs to retire the old version of Natalia.
Nah, Nia is gonna get retired by Lash Legend, dog.
Yeah, oh man, she better be careful,
Bro, that retirement match gonna go stupid.
man. If Naya ever retires, so we have to take that. I mean, you gotta look at it, man. Even John Cena's retiring before The Rock. So
And John Cena even said, like, when I'm retired, I'm retired. There's no amount of money. You will not see me again. Even like AJ Styles said the same thing. Like, you're not gonna see me again. I don't want to be like the old guys missing a step. You're not gonna see me again. So it's kind
yeah,
of
I
crazy.
mean, you could say that. We'll see.
I mean, I'll see him in Gainesville, so it's fine. But
Yeah. But we'll see if they get Maxine out there to catch this wave next week and pick up where she left off. I would have liked to see this crowd. It was a pretty hot crowd, so I'd like to see them behind her and see how they would have responded or reacted to her, and if it would have helped build her up even more for next week versus doing something on the quote unquote commercial breaks. But after that match, we had Bronson Reed versus Jimmy Uso, a banged up Jimmy Uso from Perth, Australia. Ribs heavily taped up. Jay Uso still having whatever they got going on. But it was rather a quick match. It wasn't a very long match. Bronson Reed came out on top, much like he did versus the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns in Perth, Australia. So they have been trying to let people know Bronson is a serious player. He's somebody. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's knocked off two of the Bloodline members, the OG original Bloodline members, in the same week in one-on-one matches. They're trying to do something with him. We're going to see where it continues to go, but Jimmy Uso didn't have much. Obviously, with the hurt ribs, a couple of, a tsunami. And that was going to be pretty much all they wrote. After this one, we had Braun Breaker come down and start handing out spears, and we had Jay Uso come out and try to defend his brother, twin brother Jimmy. But I don't really know where they're going with the Usos Roman Reigns thing. It does feel like it's pretty unpredictable to me because I don't understand the direction it's going in. Are they possibly building towards Jimmy versus Jay again? I'm not sure. Triple threat between these guys? I'm not sure. All of a sudden, we wake up and Jimmy is just back on SmackDown because somehow he just ended up on Monday Night Raw, and we really don't even know how. But I'm not sure what they're going to do with this. Roman is kind of in and out, so it's a little easier for him to not have to be there every week and for us to try to figure out what his role is and all of this. But
yeah,
what you thought about Bronson Reed versus Jimmy Uso and what he's had going on with Jay Uso and some of this interference and beatdown that happened after the match with Braun Breaker?
I feel like the story with them three is kind of like replaying kind of how we got Jay to be main event, Jay Uso back in COVID. So I feel like that's kind of replaying, whereas Jay is kind of turned it into Roman, and Jimmy is kind of what Jay was.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I see some similarities in that story a little bit. And so it's kind of, it's kind of turning out, which is fine if it builds Jimmy up to some kind of title run that would, I mean, question, it might not be a main event title,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe Intercontinental US, like a solo championship, because he definitely deserves that. I mean, he's been there forever. He's done what's asked of him. So let the man get a solo title. But if it builds him up to that, that's fine, because I feel like that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to build him up to it so people will be behind him, which is fine. So if it's just another slow burn, that's cool. But the match itself, it was definitely some quick work because he was still hurt. So
Mm-hmm.
post match, Braun Breaker, man, it's just crazy that. I mean, granted, I know he was built for this. I know he played football in college and the pros, but this is his calling. And his cousin might be coming in soon, so we'll get another Steiner. But yeah, he just got it all, man. And now
Yeah,
he just got it all, man.
yeah,
Right.
Braun has definitely been consistently showing he's waiting for that breakout moment. He held the Intercontinental Championship so long ago; it's almost forgotten that he had already reached that secondary title. But who's it always begs the question when we talk about Jimmy Uso, whose title would he get? Who
It'll be
was
one of those secondary ones, U.S. or Intercontinental. Like it wouldn't be this year, I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
so he's got a little ways to go if that, I don't know. I don't know, man. Jimmy's in a tough spot. I feel like LA Knight is in a tough spot. Sammy's been doing his open challenge over there on SmackDown. So I think that to keep it going, they may continue to let him hold on to the title. He's having a lot of different guys coming out there and having some good matches over there. potentially matches of the night every time that he has this. So they may continue to run with him, man, for a little while here. And you already see how they treat the Intercontinental Championship. It's barely been defended. So it's not like they're really paying too much attention to these titles to where they need to do anything to spice it up. And this might be the best thing going as far as Sami Zayn having that U.S. title Open Championship matches. And then in addition to that, it's keeping them on TV every week. So it's guaranteeing them a match on TV. So if I was everybody else, I'd be doing the same thing, man. Let me do an open title match, man. It's gonna keep me on TV. We still have yet to see Stephanie Vaquer back in the ring. Since she's won the title on Monday Night Raw anyway. She did win the Crown Jewel Championship over Tiffany Stratton. I am beginning to wonder what they see in Stephanie. I feel like there's a real strong urge to push her, and I really believe she was going to beat Naomi before all of that went down, and then having her beat Tiffany Stratton. I don't know. I don't know what they really are seeing that's making them say she just needs to beat everybody. She did that in NXT. She was holding both of the titles, and now she's come over to the main roster, and she's pretty much continued that dominance. So beating Tiffany Stratton in the match, where Tiffany is the champ on this other show, I don't know who we believe she can't beat at this point, or who they won't allow her to be beaten by. So they definitely are letting us know they really like this Stephanie Vaquer. So kind of see what's going to happen with her. She had a backstage promo tonight that involved Roxanne and some potential down the line there. You think Stephanie's push is validated at this point?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's great in ring, and with her, the promo she had with Raquel and Roxanne, it was actually good in my opinion. And so I think that I mean she's mega talented, but her and Roxanne will have a great match, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that the reason why they pick her over Tiffany Stratton. Cause like I mean, kind of a lot of the Tiffany matches, the PLE matches, everybody's kind of saying like the match against Charlotte, where I was like, the match she had with Jade, everybody was like, you know. So it's just like, but at the same time, like who on SmackDown could they really use to take it off for her while Bianca's out?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like she's just in my mind she's a placeholder till Bianca comes back. Like that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I don't know like who like I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like who else? Because
Yeah,
she beat Nia Jax too, so it's just like you know.
it's one of those things where they haven't really built up who's next, and they haven't really had the time. They did start the process with Julia and Stephanie, bringing them up from NXT and kind of putting the rocket right on them. But anyone else, it might just get recycled. They threw Alexa Bliss and Charlotte together, so that kind of canceled them out of the tag picture,
I guess
uh, out of the women's championship picture.
we'll get a clear picture during like beginning of the year when it gets to like Royal Rumble season.
Hmm.
We'll get a clear picture of who they. You know, that's when people start to separate themselves.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely that we'll see any title changes between now and then. Not even likely that they'll defend it between now and then, the way things have been going. So you can't really lose it if you don't defend it. This is not the WBC or something like that, where you have to defend your title. That doesn't work here. But after that, we had Lyra and Bailey. They're still doing their odd tag team thing versus Judgment Day's Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne. I mean, I really didn't think too much of the match itself. Again, the story seems to be heavily focused on Lyra and Bailey as opposed to Raquel and Roxanne. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
really sure if they're just, somebody's got to be the bad girls, or in this scenario, somebody's got to lose, somebody's got to help to further tell the story. But I think this was largely about Lyra and Bailey. Close to the end there, Lyra slapped Bailey, and Bailey just went off and I guess showed that she can beat everybody by herself, and don't really need to be in a tag team, and which is basically what she did. So she's going through the crazy metamorphosis. I hear voices. Not sure what's going on, Bailey. So Lyra is still acting unsure, a little timid, a little nervous, questioning what's going on. But these ladies ended up getting the victory thanks, I guess, thanks to Bailey, or maybe thanks to Lyra smacking Bailey. I'm not really sure here, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it left Raquel and Roxanne, just kind of hanging in the wind. Roxanne did approach Stephanie Becker in one of these interview promos, but it wasn't any match set. It didn't seem like something that was about to happen. So, and you're kind of just coming off of a loss, so I'm not sure how that would work at all. But yeah, it was just kind of there, man. What you thought about this match between this tag match with Lyra and Bailey versus Raquel and Roxanne?
It's they kind of connected right now because they got beef between each other, but it's more just showing the story of can like Lyra trust Bailey. I mean, that's literally what it is in my opinion.
Yeah, she's not. Something's gonna happen here. We don't know when. Some stories is pretty quickly, and some stories last way too long, way well past what I believe is their expiration date. So not really sure. I think when Liv Morgan gets back, they may make some decisions at that point. Right now, they're just trying to keep them handy. Liv Morgan may come back babyface, so I'm not sure what that's gonna look like. Because these two, Roxanne and Raquel, has been getting along pretty well as of late. So they might stick together against Liv
Yeah.
and let Liv have to figure it out. So at some point she's gonna come back and they're gonna have to deal with that. But as of right now, I guess Roxanne is bidding for Stephanie's title. Have we heard anything about Stephanie's first title defense? They haven't booked anything, have they?
No, but I think it's probably gonna be Roxanne with the seed that they just planted right now. So that's what I'm thinking.
Could be right after a loss, she gets the first title shot. So that's gonna be interesting to see there. But they got to do something with Stephanie Becker. Maybe she needs to get involved, get in the match or something like that. After that, we had our main event of the evening, and what a main event it was. Some of the typical players we typically see in the main event on Monday Night Raw. CM Punk versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight in a triple threat for our number one contenders match for a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, which is currently held by Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
And this match, honestly, I don't know if it was just a couple of commercial breaks or as that they had in between, but it kind of felt a little quick. It felt a little fast with this particular match. I didn't feel like it lasted too long. But these are definitely main event guys that come out and show up and do their thing every time. You can't really go wrong with these three. You're going to get the star power. You're going to get some antics. You're going to get some wrestling. You're going to get a lot of things that we come to see and come to expect with our main event.
Yeah.
It ended. I don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting the sort of almost clean way that CM Punk won the match. I was a little surprised by that. Jey Uso is still going at it with his brother, Jimmy, and Roman. So I don't really know where this leaves LA Knight. Kind of seems like he might get the short end of the stick on this one. Post match, the rest of the division comes out. Bronson Reed is out there, and they're doing what they do, putting the hurts on CM Punk, Tsunami or so. Seth Rollins was out there. Braun Breaker was out there. Everyone came out there getting ready to close the night out in a big way. Honestly, I was just expecting a typical beatdown from the Vision. They were, celebrating in the ring, and the match was over. And I'm sitting there. I'm literally about to turn. I'm getting up,
Nah, man.
and a spear comes out of nowhere. Like I was genuinely shocked.
Nah, I
I
know it was
did not
coming.
see it coming. I did not see it coming at all. I think once they raised their arms and all that, my mind just started wandering to something else. And I had at that point, like, all right, I watched the show for the night. I'm checked out. It's just going off now. And then the spear happens. It genuinely
Mm.
shocked me. I don't remember the last thing that genuinely shocked me that I really was caught off guard by. I don't know. I'd have to think pretty hard. But it could have been when John Cena kicked Cody Rhodes at Elimination Chamber. I didn't see that coming. That might have been the
Yeah.
last thing I didn't see coming. Um every now and again they get me. Every now and again I get got with one. I didn't see the Seth Rollins Paul Heyman thing coming ahead of time. So every now and again they get one over on me, man. Normally I'm a little bit more prepared than this. But this one got me, and I think mainly because this had just started. Like Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are still breaking up to this day. New Day was supposed to be broken up 6 years ago. The Kabuki Warriors, like they broke up like really fast, but I thought that just I didn't know that was the new style they was going with. Is like we're gonna end this quick. So he hits him with a spear. Then Braun Breaker tells him, "Hey," tells Bronson Reed, "It's either you're gonna be on with me or you're gonna be with Seth Rollins." And when he said that, at that point, I wasn't surprised by nothing. Bronson Reed went up to the top, got the tsunami in on him, complete turn on Seth Rollins at that point, and then Paul Heyman, in pure true Paul Heyman fashion, instantly switches sides, raises the arms of the perceived future over Seth Rollins' body. I just even that part, that part I didn't see it. It wasn't as big of a shock, but I didn't see it coming. I thought he would just lay there scared, be kneeled down next to his body. I didn't expect him to change so quick. Everything just happened so fast. You got Braun Breaker turning, then you got Bronson turning, then you got Paul turning. Like, whoa, whoa, did we just babyface Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
What just
Well, it
happened?
was like I know it was coming. I just didn't know it was gonna be as quick. Because even like going into his match with Cody, he was kept saying like, "I gotta do this on my own. What happens if I don't get it?" Like he was always doubting himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then even like when they won their match at Crown Jewel, uh, they were all excited. They were like, "Yeah, hopefully, somebody else take care of business. We can get the party going." It's kind of like, oh, he might not take care of business. We
Mm-hmm.
might be too. And then even today with him, the first promo, he was like, "Yeah, I kind of did this on my own, kind of thing." And then even when they raised their arms, when he raised the arm, and when Bronson went to the corner, I mean, when Braun went to the corner and they did that wide camera angle, and then they showed the executive producer. I was like, the show not over. The
Mm-hmm.
show's not. When CM Punk came back, they did the same thing. Match ended. They did the wide angle. They said executive producer Paul Levesque, and then bam, CM Punk music hits. I was like, something else about to happen, and I stayed off of like social media all day
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I wanted to know. There was, and I was like, I didn't know they was gonna do it this fast. I thought it was gonna wait a little bit, but I get it because Braun was already like on his way to being a
Mm-hmm.
star without the group, and Bronson is well on his way to being maybe not a main event guy, but like a high level, mid level, kind of where like LA Knight is a main event guy, but in some people's mind he's not one, and everybody mind Braun Breaker is a main event guy.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson is like, in some people's minds he's there, in some people's minds he's not. He's kind of like that, like LA Knight kind of Jay Uso kind of thing, where he's kind of like right there. He'll probably get a title reign eventually, like a main title reign eventually. But it was to elevate them, and maybe it's just them two. Maybe Seth brings somebody to help take him down. Maybe they add on a third. This story can go a lot of different ways. Like
Mm-hmm.
Seth reaching out to Roman, which is crazy, to kind of stop them, and maybe they create their own Shield 2.0 with someone that's hurt, that needs to come back already, who can use some elevating, and that's how you said his name earlier, Austin Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe they create like a Shield 2.0 with Austin Theory. Maybe Seth and Roman are like, hey, I know we hate each other. We gotta
Mm-hmm.
come together to stop this because we know what the Shield did. We gotta stop this somehow. It can go that way, or maybe Theory clicks up with Seth to stop them. And it can go a lot of different. But I feel like Theory is gonna be involved in there somehow. That's the only way I see it playing out because he could use it because he's a star. He can talk, he can wrestle, but he needs to be elevated in the minds of the people to believe he's a star. Having him with Grayson Waller for so many years, kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
I know we don't like to say Barry, but Brad kind of that golden shovel was, and so like because I just feel like he's a star and he can use it.
Do you
And
do you feel like they absolutely are going to add somebody else to the
I
mix?
don't know. I don't know. I now know that this will not be our Survivor Series War Game
Mm,
match.
mm,
That's for
mm,
sure. We are,
mm.
yeah, that's for sure. So I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's a
So
lot of different ways they can
if you
go.
keep Seth by himself at this point, that's what he is.
I know, but plus the news, like I don't know if you saw it. it was like 6:45 or whatever. News came out about his like shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
So like he was seen in a sling around Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and then like some people, when I finally went to search on X, people posted videos of him
Mm-hmm.
like after everything was over, him actually getting help, and he looked like it looked like he was holding his shoulder pretty seriously. So I mean, if he's hurt again and he was already hurt before this, I see that's why they pushed it up because he's hurt. So I can see why they like pushed everything forward. So we can't just have him pop up hurt. We need him to actually be hurt for real. Like we need people to think that they're the ones that hurt him, even though he could have got hurt in his match with like a Cody. But we need people to think that it was Bronson and Braun are the ones that did it. So that could be why they pushed it up. So if
Well, I
that's the
don't
case,
know,
then
because in his opening promo, Seth Rollins said, "I beat Cody Rhodes with one good arm." So I
yeah,
don't know, was he alluding to it happening during the match or before the match? Because that kind of threw me off a little bit.
I don't know because nothing in that there. I don't remember a spot in that match where it was any. I can't remember anything in there where he would hurt his arm on.
Well, he did the coast to coast in that match, and that's where he fell on that
Yeah,
arm. That's the only time he fell right on that arm because he
and
braced
he don't do
himself.
that a lot.
And he never does that.
No, so
Man,
that could.
most coast to coast, you go feet first. He went
Yeah,
like head first for some reason.
yeah. It was like landed on his like side kind of.
Yeah, he
So
braced
yeah,
himself with the arm in question.
yeah.
So
So that could be it.
could be. I guess I thought when he mentioned it, he might have been talking about it happened beforehand.
They could have like popped that
But
thing back in there.
yeah,
Because a
that's
lot of
still six
people,
weeks.
bro, a lot of people rolled around. I've seen people like when I play football, they stuff will pop out. They will roll and like force it back in,
Hmm.
and then like, okay, I can finish what I'm doing now, but I know I'm gonna need surgery eventually.
Yeah,
Because even like when they did tonight, you can tell that like Braun did the spear with force, but he did it in a way to guide him down.
hmm,
And then even when Bronson was doing the tsunami, he kind of, he always does it like, but he kind of made sure Seth's arms were placed in a way where he would not hit his arms, and he really hit like his full chest. And then he kind of, so they
yeah.
both like did what they did, but then they did it in a way where to protect him so he won't get any further damage than it already is. But yeah, I don't know how long he would be out if he is out, but it kind of sucks, bro, because he like every time Seth, it's just he gets hurt. It's crazy.
He's always in jeopardy, man. He's always in jeopardy. But I don't know if they're going to add anyone to this feud. I don't know if they're going to bring anybody into the picture. I don't know what they're going to do with Paul Heyman. I mean, they got to figure out something with Paul Heyman. Is he staying with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker at this point? Is he pivoting over? Is Seth going to get more people in there to try to elevate them as well, the way he did with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed? Because this was only, what was it, since a little bit after WrestleMania all of this came together, so they haven't been around that long. He may have a chance to elevate a couple of more people before
Yeah,
the next WrestleMania at this point. And who would that look like? Spook brought up the idea when I talked to him that Trick Williams just lost the TNA championship, lost to Ricky Saints recently, so I don't know if Trick really headed back to Monday night, not Monday night, Tuesday nights NXT, or is it time for Trick to move on and come to the main roster at this point?
I think Trick will get his closer there, and then he'll get that closing match. You know how they used to do, like folks to get that last match in front of the NXT crowd before they come up. I feel like Oba get that too before they come up. Because I
Yeah,
mean, those two guys, I think the NXT crowd would appreciate that, and I think they would want to do that for that NXT crowd. So they would get that before they come up. But yeah, both of them are on their way up for.
yeah. So we got to see what that's going to look like, man. Seth could use some help. You mentioned Austin Theory. He had mentioned Trick Williams. I don't know. I don't know where he goes from here. I don't know where this goes from here. I guess a large part of it depends on what happens with Paul Heyman and if he stays with these guys, because he's not going to have much of a chance. And Seth Rollins haven't done exactly a great job of making friends on the main roster. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, man, where this plays out. So
Yeah,
I think the next PLE is Saturday Night Main Event on the November 1st. I believe that's the
hmm
next one. So maybe we'll get some matches or some answers or some reveals. This past week we saw Shinsuke show back up. We seen the full MFTs
Shinsuke
are
too.
back. Who else came back this past SmackDown? Was it just Shinsuke and MFTs? I feel like it was somebody
Yeah,
else.
That's who. And by the way, I feel like that's your War Games match. I don't know how
Yeah,
because they don't have a female, but it might end up being because when is War Games?
late November, probably a
I
few
don't.
weeks
Never
after.
mind. I don't. I don't think they can draw it out like that between like Solo and his crew and the Wyatt Six.
Hmm.
Never mind. I don't think they can draw it out.
Mm.
There would
Yeah,
be a dis, but they would have to find a female. I don't know, man. Nikki, I don't really care.
nah. Well, she'll just be outside as a
She don't care, man.
random
She'll be
distraction.
right up in there.
Yeah, so yeah, they gotta yeah, this was a quick turn. I really thought we'd get at least a year, at least to WrestleMania out of this very crew. And then maybe we'll start seeing some real cracks. But Seth alluded to it all night. He made multiple mentions of not needing them. He alluded in the back at one point that something big, he felt like something big was coming. He don't know what and he don't know when. And it was Big Bronson Reed hitting him with a tsunami after a spear from Braun Breaker. So I don't know, man. In my world, I'd rather see Seth Rollins. Hey man, let's go find a couple other people, man. I don't know if it's Trick. I don't know if it's Austin Theory or any other NXT guys. Maybe it's some people that haven't been around in so long that we've kind of forgotten about them.
Yeah,
Maybe some people they can bring back or something like that, or not really sure. Not really sure how they may want to play this one out. But there's a lot of different ways they can go with this now because he lost both of them and Paul Heyman. So I mean, does he get another manager? Does he get? I mean, how does Becky Lynch respond to this? What is she going to have to say about what has happened here? And then on top of all of this, he just got a match. We don't know when, but it's versus CM Punk, who did end up winning the match tonight. So we still got Seth Rollins and CM Punk at some point. Part what is it? 69, 70. They're going to be having their 101 match coming up here soon without him having his trusted Vision. And the Vision name was like a month or two old. We just got that name. The Oracle name was about 3 months old. So
it's over with. Man.
yeah, man. So it's moving quick. We just
What that man Jay-Z say? Grand opening and grand closing.
man cracked the can open again. So here we go, man. We starting from scratch with these guys in this particular feud, man. But it was definitely a big moment tonight. We are accustomed seeing the brawls and the beatdowns in the main event that involves the Vision in some kind of way. This one was a very different turn. We just gonna have to wait a week, and who knows, man? Who knows if they're gonna be able to really pull this off and turn it into something major?
Yeah.
But
Guess we're
there's
gonna see
there's
when they hit Sacramento.
they're where next week? Oh, okay, okay.
So it's
So
knowing them, they'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna start at 3 o'clock,
yeah, man. Hopefully we are back to our regularly
8
scheduled
o'clock."
program. We definitely appreciate everybody. Somebody asked if Raw has started already. It definitely being in Perth, Australia, I guess there's a 12-hour time difference.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
like
might
right
they
now. It's already it's eight
tomorrow.
o'clock tomorrow morning over there. Yeah,
So they already know what the future holds. They already know what's happening tomorrow. So, but yeah, man, we should be back at our regularly scheduled time, man. We definitely appreciate everybody that was able to catch us at this time tonight to cover the Monday Night Raw tonight. We definitely appreciate everybody sticking with us and following us. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button as always, per usual. We appreciate all the support we've been getting with the Wrestle for Real podcast as of this moment. So we're gonna continue pushing out some content for you guys and everything, man. But we got some interesting things going into next week's show. So like we assumed, not a whole lot of follow up from Crown Jewel. Everything was pretty much kind of some matches that wasn't really going to go any further at Crown Jewel. We didn't have no sighting of Roman Reigns. We obviously know AJ Styles and John Cena is pretty much going to go their separate ways at this point. Same thing with Stephanie and Tiffany, CM Punk, not CM Punk, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. So not really much to follow up with Crown Jewel, and this road is moving fast, man. 8 a.m. On a Monday, and we right back at it. So they're probably going to keep going right into the next couple of weeks to get ready for Saturday night's main event. Not sure who's going to be headlining or what that card is going to look like, but we may be gearing up for a Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu match. That might be definitely on that main event card coming up at some point. Well, that might be the only one I could see kind of coming down the pipeline. I don't know if the Miz and Carmelo Hayes is gonna get their own match. You think they need a one-on-one match at a PLE?
but they gonna get a one-on-one match. I mean, Miss hit him with the skull crusher finale. Plus,
Yeah.
I think it'll be good for Melo to go over, and I think Miz sees something in him, and that's why I think backstage he wanted to work with him and like help him get over. And so
Hmm.
there's no need for Miz to win this match.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Midge is one of the like unsung goats that will never get the credit until he retires,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But he has done it all. He has main event. Miz is amazing, man. He can talk. He's married to he's a great wrestler. Like,
Hmm.
and a lot of times Miz is the one guy that they love for him to go off the cuffs when he's doing promos. Because think about that
Hmm.
promo he had with Daniel O'Brien.
Hmm.
That come on, that was some real talk stuff, right? And even with when he had with like LA Knight. So
Yeah, if you give him something he can sink his teeth in, you don't have to worry about him, man. He's definitely has that part.
so
He came in more as a talker than anything else. So, but that might be something they're looking at for main event, or that might just be worthy of a SmackDown match between those guys. So TNA had a good showing this. It was a lot of wrestling this weekend, man. Dudley's retiring.
Spike Dudley came back.
Yeah, man. You had Leon Slater and Javon Evans go at it over at Bound for Glory.
That was amazing. Dark State did their thing.
Santana and Trick. So it was a good weekend, man. It's hard to keep up with it all. Cena and Styles, obviously Seth and Cody. We had a lot of big matches, man. A lot of big matches that at least on the TNA side, there's a lot of chapters closing. In this case, man, a lot of chapters closing and guys having to move on. So it's time to get ready for the next superstars, man. It's time to get ready. So we're gonna see if they bring anybody up, man. And word on the street is WWE had a lot to do with Mike Santana going over, so maybe they really high on old Mike Santana over there, man. So he's definitely got his shot, man. He's definitely got his shot. So we'll see what he do with it if he ends up becoming more of a prominent player in the future. But NXT has finally lost some titles, lost some of the TNA championships that
Yeah.
they've been collecting. So some good stuff this weekend, man. But we should be right back here next Monday, about our typical 10:30 start time Eastern. So if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and catch us on any platform you listen to podcasts on: iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're there. Just type in Wrestle 4, the number 4, real, and you should be able to pull us up, man, and listen. And then make sure each and every Monday you come and join in on the conversation, man. But Stan, I appreciate you jumping on tonight.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back at it on next Monday, man. Until then, I'll catch up.
All right.